announcement. I think everybody will be very happy. So let's concentrate, let's learn, and Jamar will explain to you what we are planning to do. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. So, on this class, the second day, we're really going to have yesterday we kind of went through our goals and our philosophy as trading and, OLA trading group and our fund. We basically want to be able to, kind of duplicate billions, where we basically have traders that are going to trade with us and basically use our capital, but use our strategies. So this volume over order, our alligator strategy, swing and day trading. We want to basically perfect that and perfect the traders that's working with us and allow us to trade more. Crypto, we do have a disadvantage. We have an advantage that there's a lot of volatility. The disadvantage is 24 hours. We're human and we don't have, machines aren't able to trade in crypto because of the human factor. It's not like the stock market where you have 16,000 stocks and it's harder to pinpoint the stocks are moving. In crypto, last night, what we witnessed, which we're going to go over today, is we witnessed stop loss hunting. Basically, banks pushing it down to basically trigger everybody's stops and then pushing it right back up. So, that was something that happened to basically take out the human guys that have stops. And so I think yesterday you were asking me, did I use stops? And I said, no, I don't use stops. Because if we would have had a stop in place last night, it would have stopped it out. We would have woke up, the market is at 35.60, and we would have been out of the market. So, one of the disadvantages is these games are being played 24 hours a day. And, with the amount of information we have, things that we bought yesterday, they're all up. The things we bought last week, they're up. But, to manage all of those from one guy, we can do more as a team. Most of the traders and most of the firms out there have teams of traders. So, that's one of our goals at OLA is to develop a team of traders. One of the things is we're going to have a membership program, but the goal of that program is going to basically be able to get guys to see who's good traders and then allow them to kind of trade some of our funds. So that is, one of the announcements that we're going to talk about at the end. Today, on this day 2, we're really just going to focus on trading. One of the things we're going to talk about is the market psychology and then trading routine. I've worked at prop firms. I worked at institutional trading facilities, and there is a culture that is built in those environments. So different firms have different cultures. The one that we want to create here is basically, specialized trading on certain coins. You develop a style of, 3 to 6 coins that you're going to follow, and those are the ones you trade. And so like in crypto, with the volatility, you don't need to trade a ton of coins. We know the information is coming, but if you start recognizing the flow, you can trade 1 or 2 coins and just trade that coin and make money, or trade a group of coins. So, that's one thing that I'm going to try to manage is, a group of traders. And then basically everyone here, we want to teach our institutional style trading techniques. One of the things we're going to talk about is, the morning routine. Like, to be a trader, what does it take to be a trader? For one, traders are normally, you want money, right? You can't have a mindset of, I'm in this trade and I hope I don't lose. You get in the trade because you want it to go up, and you're in the trade because you want to make money. So, that's one of the things that traders have to have as a mentality is that they want to make a lot of money, and that is a mentality. So, some of the morning routines that I have, just personally, is positive affirmations. You can't get in the trade thinking like, I hope it doesn't go down, I think it's going to lose. You're in the trade because you think that whatever research that we've done for that trade, that we've done that research so in anticipation that it's going to go up. And we have to believe what we see, right? Sometimes it doesn't move. And a lot of times the reason why 90% of traders lose is all mental. because everything goes up and down. So not one coin out there, one stock out there stays in the same place over amount of time unless it just has no volume. But if it has volume, something is happening with that coin where it's not moving, or it's not going up, or it's not going down. But there's a reason why. So, knowing that every coin moves up and down, you always have opportunity to get out of a coin. And sometimes it's pushed down. Last night, it was pushed down. People that got out of the market because it was pushed down, now they're kicking themselves. And then the next trade, it impacts them. The next trade, it impacts them. And then they started thinking that I'm not going to make any money. I'm losing every time I get in the trade. You hear people say that. Every time I sell it, it goes right back up. And it's like, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy over and over again. So a lot of the trading is a mental aspect. And that's where, really when I'm making calls in a group, I'm confident that it's going to go up. And that's, and eventually we may have to wait 2, 3 days, 4 days. You don't know exactly to the second when it's going to go up, but we know that it's projected up. And that's what it takes to be a trader. And some of it is patience. A lot of it is bankroll. When you have enough capital to trade, most traders are underfunded. They don't have enough money to trade. So when things go down, they can't buy more. So now they're waiting for a long period of time for it to come back up. And then they get discouraged. So, how you trade and how you go into a trade, there is a procedure, with trade management and risk management, where you don't go all in on a trade unless there's at a point where you can clearly see that, you're below the moving average. And that's one of the reasons why the alligator strategy is about moving averages. So you look at a trade like the trade we got into yesterday with NIM, just getting in that trade, when something is, unless it's going to go out of business and it's just not going to be around anymore, you can feel pretty confident that it hits a point where there's no more selling, and it has no other option besides to go up. It may not go all the way up to the top, but it's going to go up a little bit. So it always gives you an ability to get out of the trade. If you look at this here, from down here to up here to down here, up here. Oh, we're not on that screen, huh? Hold on, let me, I'm actually presenting, not presenting. All right, give me one moment. Let me let the, all right. Oops. All right, sorry guys. Connecting my screen. So, so another one of the routines is, the positive affirmations in the morning, and then we basically go look and see what we're seeing. Oh, what's the decline?
Only group trade.
Only group trade, right?
Yeah. What's up? Yeah.
Oh, you see it? It's up. Okay. Yeah. So, part of the morning, part of the morning routine is, we went over this a little bit yesterday, but there's a flow. Yesterday in the group, we said buy dash, and it was at a point where, it was a psychology. The stock market was up yesterday to a point, and then it reached a point where it was gonna, go down. Those profits, then they end up coming into crypto. And so today you see that this market looks a little bit different than what it did yesterday. The USDT, you see that money yesterday we noticed that this was down and everything else was down. So when the USDT is down and the rest of the market is down, it tells you that money is, taken out and starting to be placed into crypto. Right. So that was the reason why we got long yesterday before we left. And that's why, we bought a couple of things last night. And the things that we bought, they're both up. And then the coin market value, we're basically watching that. It got down to 118 last night. So $2 billion is in. So, once again, when we're tracking the market value, I track that every 2, 3, 4 hours, and I post up in the group. The reason why we're watching that is that the volume doesn't lie. There's no way banks can get in without volume going up. There's no way that they can get out, no matter what they're manipulating. You'll see the volume either going down. So if they're taking money out the market, that number goes down. They're putting money in the market, that number goes up. It's a lot harder to track the stock market because the stock market has so much volume every day that you can't tell a $1 trillion move or not. In crypto, we have these tools and we use these. Another thing on the morning routine is you want to look, we kind of mentioned candlesticks yesterday. We look for these candlesticks on a 1 hour period. And this right here, this is something we're going to talk about today, is stop loss hunting. These here are stop loss hunting. These long tail wicks. This is a open and close. And it comes down here, this is a close. So 3440, and we identified that yesterday through the biome indicator where support was. And so this was a clear line of where support was, and it went down there and it grabbed it. So if we look at this on a 1 hour, this is a Bitcoin on a 1 hour. This is a stop loss. This is all the volume that was waiting to come in down here. So this big green candle, when I said that money was coming in and was sitting sideline, they were waiting to buy it at a lower price. So, accumulating the Bitcoin and then dumping it, it was trying to see how far where the buyers were. Same thing, where the sellers are. So they were seeing where the sellers were here was just a market order. You hit a market order, maybe, 10 million. And what the idea is that you're gonna sorry, waves is popping up on the scanner and we're already in it. So, this was a test to see where it's at. So you see this long tail wick where this stopped, all of a sudden this is where they start selling at. And this is a wick of a sell. So these match. This down here and this wick here, it shows where support was. This shows where the top is at. Now, if this breaks this top today, right here, you can see that on our biome indicator, there's no orders here. There's no buyers on this time frame. If it crosses over 3690s, then the buyers takes over again. But for the day range, this is where it's at. This is the top, 3560 area. And then you see here at 3600, there's no buyers there right now, right? So this gives you confidence to sell. And it says, hey, I'm not going to get back in until it crosses 3620. At least if it gets here, then I know that some kind of volume has come in to push it up because it's not pending right here. So this is another way that we're going to focus on, using this indicator and using the volume here. Down here you have, you still don't have any strength really until you get down to 3440 again. So if we were to play this range, we would be buying it. We would, put an order down here at some point, unless it breaks through 3620. But you wouldn't be buying right here. All right, because this is where the wick stops. This is where the biome. This is where the sellers is kind of taking over. It already has this line here, this point here, this point here. This is all tops on 3-4 different days, right? So until it breaks this decisively, this would be your top. So this, this gives you confidence that, hey, I can sell. And then we watch this number here, the coin market cap, because if this number is not going up and start going down, then we know that money is coming out, or at least it's been sold. If it stays the same, we wait for a move to happen. It's 504, now it's 26 more million that came in, but it's not enough to move the market. Another routine is I look at view all, and then we want to see in this 1 hour, how many of these are green on the top 20. A good rule of thumb is if it's over 60%, you could buy. So if you have 20 coins and you see 14 or 12 that's green, the higher number that you see green on the 1 hour, this should give you confidence to enter, right? Because that means if money is coming in, it's over 1%. And the thing is, but right now, if the top 10, if it's 50-50, then you wouldn't enter. Or 40-50, you want to have your odds a little bit higher, 70%. 70% red, it's still going down. 70% green, pretty chance is going up. So, this is like just quick little tips. You want to be able to identify things fast, especially in the morning, right? Another thing is you want your first trade to be a good trade. So if you're indecisive, you just don't enter. Like a trader should always be confident, and this is what you need. If you're going in as 50-50, it's not a good trade. You need to have your eyes on your side where you feel confident on the trade. If you're starting to question it and you're already up, you just take profits because you can never lose money taking profits. All right? Repeat after me. You can never lose money taking profits.
You can never lose money taking profits.
Right. So, whether you make 1%, 2%, if you sell at a profit, it's a good trade. A bad trade is being unsure and holding that trade and losing money and then selling. You want to sell quick. If you're unsure, sell quick and get out. All right? And this way you can wait for another trade. There's 100 coins on the top 100. There's 2,000 coins total. There's always another trade. The scanner, the alert that we have here, I keep this up because it reminds me that if we're in a trade and this is not going off, there's all these other coins right now that's going off. So you can always get 1%, to get back into a positive trade. LRC, since we've been here, these trades have been going off for 2 days. LRC, QKC, and HOT. If we look at those, just for example, if you look at the activity, this is not good. These long wicks, when I see this, I avoid it. Let me see a better one. That's a bad example. So this has been going off for 2 days, and this is almost a flat, and it doesn't say it's going to stop going up. But if you look at the 1 day, you can tell it's been in a pattern, trending. So if you would have got in this and just held it, and it's going off for 2 or 3 days, it's still a good trade, and it's still going off, right? So waves, we got in at 248 and 258. Right now, if we look at waves, it's just now starting to start. We bought around here, right when it's starting to green. And on a 1 hour, we see this is where the arrow is. I always say this arrow lasts for a couple of days, right? So once it gets on a day, right now it's on an hour, it just started trending up. Pretty soon, if we hold on, we're still up. So, we're already up like 8%. If we can wait a day or two and this, get some activity, and then knowing what day it is, it says Tuesday. Tuesdays are normally a good day. I like trading on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, not so much. Fridays, Thursdays, better days. So, for the group, when we have these trading, a lot of times the alerts I give is going to be in anticipation of the timing, always knowing what day it is. If you're going to trade on a Sunday and you're going to trade on Sunday night at 10, 11 o'clock, this is what most traders are already done and they're going to close their positions. So it's not a good day to go long. You want to buy when it's low. So knowing the market psychology and knowing the hours and always knowing what time it is. So, one of the things that all these windows, when I open up Chrome, they all come up. At any time, even though crypto is 24 hours, I say crypto is 24 hours. I want to know when other people are sleeping. Or I want to know what time it is in other markets in the world. Because we're in a global market. Crypto is global. So that means that everyone can be buying all over the world. And so another tool that, another tool is out there. Fiat leaks under. So this just gives you an idea, if you go to Fiat leak, it kind of just, gives you a visualization. You start seeing crypto, where is it coming from, right? It says, how the crypto, where is it being bought and sold right now? You'll see the different areas on this map, and then you'll revert that to this market, and you see, all right, it's open. It's open in US right now. Where is most of the crypto coming from? So it kind of gives you an idea that, this crypto is going into the US. And is it pointing to California, or does it look like it's pointing to the East Coast somewhere? Right, so, it kind of tells you that, Wall Street starting to get into crypto, financial markets, that's where they trade. So, it's only right is on this side of the country. And these other places, this is Asia. So, just give me a visualization as part of the morning routine, and then you'll start seeing this kind of change throughout the day based on the time. So being aware of the time, that's something that institutions are aware of, good traders, and these windows that open up is something that we're going to give to the members. So you'll know, here's all the windows I use, right? And you can start using them and how I use them. Because one thing about getting alerts, and you go to another service, they'll, hey, buy this. Well, they buy it and there's no foundation. So to be a good trader, to be confident, to stay in the trade, is you have to have the background information. You have to know why you're trading and what are you looking for. And also to follow my trades, you have to know that, all right, well, he's done some research. He just didn't call it out of the blue. There's something behind it. So when it goes down, you'll stay in the trade and not, panic, because most of the traders lose because of panic. One trade that we got into, let's talk about the down trades. GBT. The reason why we bought GBT, it was actually down this morning and now it's back up. But it touched 330 or 348 this morning, 340. And we bought GBT because this is going to be one of our February trades. And we'll go through the coin calendar, these things that pop up. You go to GBT, you put it into the coin market cap, any trade that you follow. So if you're following someone else that you're not a part of our group and you're going to go follow someone, you want to go see why they're picking that. Because a lot of these coins that are going up, they're pumps from other pump groups. So you don't want to be caught in a pump. Because, the people at the bottom, it's like a pyramid scheme, right? The MLMs, people that start them, they make the money. The guy's getting late. Somebody's going to get caught holding the bag. And that's what happens with pump. So one that was pumped last night that I watched is actually Salt. Salt is a coin based on lending. And I don't trust Salt because I know the U.S. regulation is they're trying to cut down on, lending and SEC. Those are all financial things that, I'm not going to trust a lending coin unless they're registered with the SEC. But last night, this pumped, and it got up here, and then it came down here. So, it was a quick move, and it's still trending up. But this is a big sell. So anytime you see a big candle, it's profit taking. But then it's failing to reach a new high. So this wick here is taller than this wick. And then it loses steam, and then it starts to drop. So it's good to be here. It's not so good to be here. So you want you kind of want to know why a coin is moving. And, long term, when, we pick something for February and we're buying it here, we're buying GBT because they have a product update later on. And it's pretty low right now. It's $3 and it doesn't have a lot of coins. So, when it doesn't have a lot of coins, the price can fluctuate a lot. But if we're buying closer to the bottom, there's a huge upside. So when it has 4 million coins, that's not a lot of coins someone can dump and it can go down to 2. But once it gets momentum and buys, it needs to go up to 4. So that's something that you buy slowly into. All right. So on the global markets, now there's some coins that are globally marketed. So here in the United States, we have advantage that a lot of our internet is open, where we can search other news in different countries, and we can read news in Japan or read news in Russia. They're not so much that they get all of our stuff, and we have a lot of distribution channels. So coins like Ethereum, that is a coin that is really pumped by Eastern Europe. Russia, they support Vitaly because he's created that coin. So things that happen in Russia, impacts that coin. For China, NEO, Quantum, or QTM, Gas, those are coins that are impacted by things that are going on in China with crypto, mostly. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, a lot of what's happening in the U.S. That whole fork was because of Roger Ver and Craig, going back and forth on what's the real Bitcoin Cash. And it impacted the price. It made it double, then it made it lose 50% of the value after the fork. Ethereum right now, they had a lot of momentum, it's almost double, and they came back. So every month, knowing that there is some gems that come through. In December, it was Bitcoin Cash. January, it's Ethereum. February, I think it might be, knowing that the Chinese New Year is in February, maybe we'll see NEO in February. And 2018 is a lucky number. So there's a lot of market psychology that goes behind the markets, the markets in general. And knowing the global markets is something that where, if you're a trader, you want to be educated on the different, markets that's out there and the different trading styles, and that's where it comes. Just information is power when it comes to trading. So that is something that in the group, we're teaching guys because we want them to understand that type of analysis, right? And that's where this program is going to be different. It's going to add a lot of value. Okay, so if we wanted to trade right now, I can go look at the market. I can see where the this shows me that a lot of things are green right now. It tells me that the market, it's a positive day. The coin market cap, if I look at the top 10, we just looked at it a minute ago, maybe 10 minutes ago as I've been talking, you can see that more is starting to go green now. So just in that 10, 15 minutes, now it gives me a little bit more confident to go in. I can see which ones are moving bigger. And like I said, you want to buy things that are already moving up, right? So if I know NEO was going to be on my hit list for February, then that is one of the first ones I'm going to look at now because it's still early. So even if I buy NEO right now and it drops, I could buy a little bit more. I'm not in a rush to get rid of it. So it gives you confidence that, you want to buy things that if it's a day trade and it turns into a swing, oh well, that's something that you would buy. But then you're going to look at the charts, and I'm going to look at my volume indicator. So if I wanted to go NEO, I'm going to look at Binance, so that's the market that I want. Then I look at the momentum, right? So I look up, I see that it's trending up on a 1 hour. That's for day traders. On a 1 day, it's still down. I'm going to see where support is. The first thing I want to do is find out where support, because I want to know where the support level is. So I'm looking for more buyers than sellers. And I see it right here at, this is the first level, 1.15, and then 1.12, And so really, there's not any clear, there's all 50-50. And I can tell that this is, so it doesn't give me any confidence right now to get into it until 675 down here. You have 319, 283. So, and it's point down. So that's one is just, even though you have a bias, it's like, you don't change your bias. You see, look at the numbers. Tell me that, hey, it's telling me a good buy is at 275.
Would you alert yourself to that, or would you just put in a stop order to buy, or what's your normal?
Nah, so I would put alert right here.
Just alerts, yeah.
So go ahead and alert. It says, hey, I want to add it when it's under 690.
And then you'll reassess if you get alerted, right? Is that right?
Yeah, so I'll recess it at that point.
Yeah.
Or I know that support is already there. So it's, sometimes it may not come back down here. So you see guys start buying it at 710. It may not get to 690.
And by the time you get alerted, the book may have changed, right? So
I mean, you see this was a stop loss right here. This went down, and it came down as far as it can go, and then it snapped back up.
Oh, is there a wick there?
There's a wick. It's a blue wick there. Yeah. And it's a wick here. So you see support is right here in this number. And, now if we look at the 15-minute, it's going to be different. So you see out here, there's no buyers orders here. So 690 is probably the area, 112. So it's telling you on the 15-minute, 710, this is a good place, right? But if I get at 690, I'm pretty much sure that, I don't have to even think about it. I just buy it at 690, right? But I'm already in at higher. So I bought it at 745. And you see right here, so today, the levels is at right here. There's no sellers. So when you look at a different time frame, this 1 hour, this is day trading. So day trading, this is my support, 760. On a swing trade, if I'm building a large position, I want to start around 690, 710, right?
So you like to use your 15-minute most of the time for
day trading.
For your day.
All right. I mean, day trading that's telling you what's happening right now, right? On a longer period, swing trading, if I'm building a position for next month, I'm going to use the day because the 15 minutes doesn't matter. I need to know like the biggest. So these stop loss, these wicks, we count on these when we're building a position. So if I'm going to build a position for NEO, I'm going to look at these wicks and I'm going to try to get these wicks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this way I'm safe up here. So I'm going to put my orders down here where it's 710 or through here, 715, where there's no buyers. I'll be the only buyer here. Right. And so this way, when this wick hits, I get it around here. All right. And now I'm in a position where I know I want to buy that next month, but I'm putting the order down. So if the market does drop overnight or I'm sleeping 24 hours, I'm getting that order at the low, right? And so that's why you put your buy orders down that low. All right. And so whale hunting, I mean, there's a lot of, information on whale hunting. And this is basically guys that can see your orders, right? So if we're looking at the Zoom, we're looking at the volume over orders, they can see there's no buyers here. So that could be stop losses, all sales. So they're going to try to drive the price down there because they know that people are selling. You all right? If I see no buyers, I see people selling, then this is where they're going to try to get down to so they want your coins, they want them cheap. They get them down here. And they see right here, there's plenty of buyers right here. So it is not a coincidence that it passed through here from 720 to 710, then all of a sudden it bounced back up. Because they could have put an order at 712. If I had $1 million to sell $1 million, and I know that there's buyers right here, I put my buy right here, and it snatches back up. I have a market order waiting. right? So I'm gonna sell $1 million and then buy $1 million. And I've just sold it at 750 and picked it up at 710. So they can see the same thing. They see the buys here. So that's why you see sometimes you'll say, wait. These wicks do the same thing. It goes up here and it tries to get these shorts to liquidate their position. And then it stopped right here. So, it's both ways. So sometime in crypto, using stops, you want to basically, you don't want to play with the altcoins. You want to play with the major coins. And some of these, you want to build a position. You want to know what time it is. It's important to know what time, what market, indicators. You want to look at them in the future. Because a lot of times they'll drive the price down before it shoots up. They're trying to accumulate. If there's some news that's coming out, they're going to try to drive the price down so they can buy it lower. They know the news is coming up. They're doing the same research that we're going to be doing. So, talking about that, that's 9:45. So considering that there is that much information, I actually look for trends in a day. So one of the sites I use is CoinTrends, and it'll tell me, what news is coming out that just got updated. So if you look at INS, which is a coin that, basically is on that news train, you can tell that it's been on an uptrend, from, this is the pushing down, and this is that whale picking it up. So push it down from here, pushed up, and then all of a sudden it goes back up. So this is the guy that says, man, every time I sell, it goes right back up. This is a force down. Forced it down, and all of a sudden it went right back up. This wick and this wick match. So this is an example, and then they had news coming out. So like I said, right before it, it's pushed down and it goes right back up. So a lot of times if you have the news, you see here this arrow, something good was coming, and then all of a sudden someone pushed it down to get the price lower. And then bought here, and now it's back up higher than where it was. So it had momentum at a point here, 122, and then it got pushed down, and all of a sudden it went right back up, all within 24 hours. That is an example of stop whale hunting. To go down and get it, and then it's back up. Then we'll look at this on a larger scale. I could tell this was happening even before, seeing these wicks. This is normally something I don't buy when I see too many wicks like this, up and down, because it's playing with the emotions. It's being manipulated. When you see all these wicks, that's what that means. There's long tail wicks being manipulated. So if we look at that coin and we look at how many coins it has, you could tell that it had a low number because someone was able to manipulate this coin by themselves, or with the market. I don't know if it's one person, but it was there. So I can come to my Telegram. I have certain groups that I'm going to share with the members that basically, if I'm looking for INS, I'm pretty sure I can find it in a pump group somewhere. If I looked hard enough, I would find it in a pump group somewhere. So I have, I use the Telegram because all the information is there. So it's like when we're trading, we're taking a test, and it's an open book test. We just need to know where to go get the information. So with that being said, so one of the goals, for the guys that are in the group, the membership is basically to make all the traders' life easier. There's a lot of, there's trading time and then there's research time. Most of the trading comes in preparation. I take 80% of my time to research and read, go through all the Telegram groups, write down reports, write down notes, basically look at the historical data. That is, in any firm, any trading thing, you may have 10 traders, but you have 6 of them as analysts. And they're doing a lot of analyzing the market, and they're providing the reports to the traders. This is something that, knowing how institutions are set up, they pay a lot more money for information. They pay a lot of guys they have guys. I know guys that they get paid just to go visit companies. They get paid to visit them because they want to know, in the stock market, right? They want to know what the company's doing, what they're hiring for. There's some traders that just trade off of job boards. They'll look at the job boards and say, oh, okay, what type of people are they hiring to make their projections? So there's a lot of things that go into trading outside of just doing a stop loss and making a trade. There's information that needs to be provided. So at Ole, what one of our advantages is we're going to provide a report every month, institutional type reports that explain what's going to happen, or what are we forecasting. So right now, between January 15th and January 31st, mostly all the trading companies, the banks, they're forecasting the next 12 months. This is no coincidence that you have all these opinions and analysts. They forecast how the months is going to be. What months are going to be good months, what months are going to go down. And that creates the market psychology. Because if you hear that JP Morgan is taking his money out in March, what do you think you're going to be doing at the end of February? You're going to take your money out before they're taking their money out. So it creates a chain effect. If there is news that's coming out on the coin, then you're going to see buying maybe 2-3 weeks earlier. All right. Like it happens a couple of weeks back. Last month I put CMT was a buy, and we may have been, because I knew that they had a lot of news coming out. If we look at CMT right now, Cyber Miles, right? Yeah, so it got down to 22. It got pushed down. So when we start buying, because I know Chow and I, we started buying at around 27, 26. Right here, it started getting pushed down. And then all of a sudden, it's back up to 29. And it's probably going to go to about 38. So from 20 to 38 is almost 100%. And we don't realize that with, in a short 30-day period, just holding on or buying, accumulate down. I actually can tell you I had Cyber Miles a few times. If I go here into my trade history, and that's part of having the patience to trade it. I rebought and sold a few times. So this is me selling. And even though I made money, but just holding on to it, I would have made more. So I bought here, 0627. Sold it, 0678. So it's still it could have been a better trade, but it still is a profitable trade. It's just that, if knowing that we had news coming up, if I go here to CMT, to the calendar, this is where having multiple traders, you can't, having a small amount of trades. We knew that these dates were on the map. January 31st, February 28th, every month CMT had news coming up that's going to push, we can sell the news. And even though that I made the trade, I still was profitable, but it going from 20 cent to 38 cent is 100%, almost a 80% trade. And so, just showing you the type of analysis that we're going to do, I'm going to pull up a report. So December. Let me pull up the report for I think January. So this report came out beginning of the month. You know, kind of said hold BNB and hold Ethereum. Somewhere down the road, I had CMT on our list to buy because we know that they had news coming out. Also, another thing that we look at is basically Google Trends. So there's certain coins that before they go up, they'll start getting searched, you know, on, you know, the entire SEO, right? You look at the marketing, their search. So when you see searches on the search engine, it gives you a clue what people are looking at. And what people are looking at is eventually something that they want to buy. So there's a lot of tips on the analysis side that gives us clues to what's going to be hot the next month. And this is something that, you know, these reports that we're going to give out to the members, and then it basically has a date, you know, to the date of, you know, this stat came out the month before, and I'm telling people here, take profits on Ethereum, get rid of it, right? And Ethereum goes down like almost 40%, from 150 to now it's like 114. So, you know, the day trading, the stops, the when to buy, we can project that, you know, based on good analysis. And this is something that we're going to provide to our traders, you know, to basically, or even to the members that, you know, if you're going to use this information, this is how Ole is going to save people time. And that's valuable because most people don't have 8 hours a day to go through research. So to generate, you know, profitable trades and make your life easier, you know, you don't have to day trade. You can actually get in certain positions and hold. You know, you see CMT was at 20, now it's at 30. That's a 50% move. Just 20 to 30 is 50%. So give you confidence to buy into larger. You don't need to do a lot of trades. We've had 3 trades this month that went over 50%. You know, BNB, Ethereum, CMT. You know, we're in waves right now. Like, it just takes, you know, the right research. Okay, so calendars, you know, ICOs, current events. One thing that we're going to share is, you know, I have a whole Bitcoin folders and bookmarks. So if I want to look for different dates and calendars, I have, you know, at least 15 sources that's already been researched that you guys can use to, you know, find the best dates. So, you know, we wanted to do calendar. This is ICOs. You know, we don't do anything with ICOs, but we look at some of the coin dates because some of these are airdrops. Some of the airdrops are gonna, you know, generate interest in other coins, and you know, that's a correlation. You know, we kind of explain that correlation of, you know, what coins are coming out and how it's going to make another coin. Could they compare the coins? Oh, this coin is like, you know, BitTube is like YouTube, and then they compare the two. Oh, BitTube is better. Then it becomes speculation. Then that price goes up. So there's certain things that's going to, you know, generate interest in certain coins, knowing what's coming out. Like here, A-Share, HSR. You know, they have airdrop March 1st, right? So if we look at the HSR now, that's a coin that's on Binance. We can look at the HSR. It was on Binance. See if it's still there. Yeah, so they removed it off. So looking at the dates, you know, you're gonna find certain coins, certain airdrops, and it's gonna, you know, generate interest. And so one thing we do is we go through each one of the months, 2 months in advance, and we basically look at coins that's gonna hit the calendar, you know, 4 out. And so this way, when the market drops, we're looking at coins to buy that we have dates that's already projected, you know, maybe 3 weeks out. So this then, you know, platform release, MFT. So this would probably go on my February report. And then it has a real meter. So it tells you if this is actually a good coin or not. And it actually tells you what the event is. So they have a platform release. You can email alert. You can put it on your calendar. So if I put this on my calendar, I wouldn't put it in for March 1st. I would put it in like February 10th and start looking at it. 2-3 weeks out, start looking at it. And then this is how it gets alerted to the group. So, looking at MFT now. And Bitcoin is looking like it may break 3580. So MFT right here, if we look at it on a day, if you were to buy under this price here, chances of it crossing up a few times, it's going to be high. But these long wicks means that it has been manipulated. And so buying down here, knowing that they have a date, March 31st, initial release, you can put alerts down here and then comfortably hold it because you look at the history. This is at a low. Then they have dates coming out in March. Now, I wouldn't want to hold something for 60 days because they could, we're traders. Anything over 30 days is long term, right? So we can make money within a week, a day to 7 days, 14 days. So it doesn't make sense to buy now, but it does make sense to buy alert. And maybe we get it, March, and then only hold it for a week or two. So we don't have to, you don't want to tie up your money in long-term trades and have it all tied up because there's trades coming every day where you're getting 5 or 10%. So holding something for 2 months when you could be making 5% or 3% a day, in 30 days you'll 1%, you'll double in a month, just getting 3-5% a day, right? So here holding it for 2 months, your money's not working for you. So that's not something you want to do to hold for 60 days, especially if you're day trading. Day trading and swing trading, we're looking to generate income and build, daily. Let me see if in the group. Checking on you guys here, making sure who's on the call.
Let's do it.
All right. All right. So we got the ICOs and the research every month. Now, one thing that you can also do, while you're sitting there, is there news that come out, and sometime like this, it came out 2 minutes ago. Advantage of hotel blocking. I always keep a news crypto panic up because sometimes we are able to catch the news, and there are traders that only trade news, trade current event. It happens a lot in the stock market where basically people are paying news, for 1 minute early, 2 minutes earlier, just so they can buy fast before everyone else gets it. In crypto, there's news that are delayed. So, before you buy a coin, there's a couple of checks that you want to be able to do. And so like yesterday when Zim hit my alert, I bought it right away. And then I went to go check the information. There's certainly going to be a pump. So I realized some of them will pump. And if it goes up 5 or 10%, you can sell right away in the same, within 5 minutes. Because, what did we say earlier? There's only a profitable trade is a good trade, right? So you cannot lose taking profits. So you can be in a trade for 2 minutes. And if it goes up 5%, you can sell. And you don't have to look at that coin again that day. Because a lot of times if that coin goes up to 30, 40%, then people will jump back in at 30% or 40%. And then all of a sudden it goes down. and they just turned a winning trade into a losing trade when it's like you just made 5 or 10% in 10 minutes and you didn't have all the facts. The news, it could be pumped. So like when I see something that hit my scanner, that means it's up 1%. I buy it, then I go look at the news, right? But then if it goes up and I see I can't find any news, and I'm still up 5 and now 7, 8%, I sell it. You know, and it's a good trade. I just made 7% in 10 minutes off something I didn't research. You just hit the scanner. So a lot of these things that are going on right now, you know, my scanner has been up since we've been in this, you know, we've been here in this class. I've had opportunity to make 1 or 2% over and over again because my filter is if it's on a 1 hour and it's hitting here, it's telling me that, you know, it's going up. So this is going up and down, and you can make 1, 2, 3%. You know, just off this one coin. It disappeared now. Now something else is going to hit my scanner within another 15, 20 minutes. So this is just a reminder that there's always a trade happening like every 10, 15 minutes. So if you can make 5 and 7% in 7 and 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's a good trade. You know, it's an excellent trade. You know, you're in a mutual fund or a 401k or, you know, they don't make 12% a year. You're making that in minutes, right? You know, your bank, you put your money in the bank, they hold your money for 30 days and they give you, you know, not even 1%, right? But then they loan it out for 19% and they're loaning it for a month and they're putting it on a credit card, 19%. Well, you just made 7% in 5 or 10 minutes. You're better than the banks, right? You are better than the banks because the banks, it takes them longer to make that move. So, you know, as a trader in crypto, you are beating the banks. You're beating the banks on returns. You're beating your investment advisor. You're beating your financial advisor. You know, your financial advisor isn't calling you telling you that the market is going down. He's telling you to write it out. So if you get 20% from a financial advisor, you're paying them 7% and he got you 20%. He's not doing that in a month. You know, you're doing that in a day yourself. So there is an advantage of learning this, of getting information. You know, you can actually produce more than any financial advisor out there. Because if he has 1,000 clients, he's worried about moving large sums, 1,000. If you're trading your own account, you're only worried about your trades, right? So you are actually more efficient than any financial advisor out there because you can be nimble. You can be in and out of the trade. Same day, same hour, you know, within 10 or 15 minutes. So this is empowering to be able to be in control of your own. Right now, if you put money, you go to an ATM, you have to ask for your money. You know, you have to pay a fee to get your money. Right here, you have an option to generate income anytime, 24 hours a day. It could be a Saturday night, you can be bored, and you can, don't do it while you're bored, but you can be in the right mindset. And you can say, I want to make some money, and you can actually get 1 or 2%. You know, people drive Uber and driving someone around for, you know, an hour, and they're making 20, 30 bucks, or maybe they're making $100. You know, with an account of $1,000, you know, you can get, you know, 30, 40 bucks in 2 minutes just by having a scanner, you know, and that's been disciplined. So if you had $1,000 and you can make, you know, $10, $20, you can make that 3 or 4 times a day in one day with this 1% scanner. Anything that moves up 1%, it goes up, you sell it for 2, 3, 4%, you know, it accumulates. So that's what we're going to kind of focus on with having a team is like, just generating the small wins daily. And then you'll realize that it doubles. I had a guy in the group, he started with $500. He's seen everybody else making money. He says, oh, we're making, you know, people are making 10%, you know, or he said, no, I made $300, $400. He told me that, hey, you know what? It's like, I don't think this is working out. Like, I'm only making like $20, $30 a trade. And so we went through every trade for that month. We totaled it all up. He started with 500. At the end, he had 1,100, and he didn't realize that everyone else was making 300, 400. They had a larger account. He had $500. He made small wins, $500, you know, $20 here, $15. He's like, I'm doing all this effort. I'm not making any money. It's like you just made 100%. It was the small wins that added up. You make $20, $30 a day for 30 days, and you only started with 500. You just made $600, and you started with 500, and you made 100% of your money. If someone did that in the stock market, they would be considered the best trader ever, right? They don't even make 100% a month. So that is the beauty of small wins, compound. And so with 2 or 3 Bitcoin, you're able to generate small wins because you can trade any coin. When I was in Cloak and I had 20,000, 30,000, me trying to sell at 30%, it dropped the price down 20%. So I wasn't able to sell with a large account. Some of the smaller coins, you have to manage the coins, and that's where it keeps half our Bitcoin not working. But in a team environment, if you have 3 or 4 Bitcoin and you are able to generate easier income because you can go into a trade and take 2 or 3% and sell it with 1 or 2 Bitcoin, and then that adds up. So, that is going to be a goal for our traders, is to be able to take a small account and grow it, because we're getting more than 1% a trade. 5 or 10% a day is better than any financial advisor out there. And we have the power to be traders. You have that power. You can do 4 or 5 trades, which a financial advisor can't do in a day because he's managing phones, he's talking to people, he's running around, they're, in meetings, they're not trading an account. And through Ole, me posting and giving the analysis and giving reports, it empowers you to do that and just get the best trades. So, we're able to be nimble. We're able to look at the calendar as ICOs. And now we have multiple eyes doing the same thing. So, as you guys get in the group, we're creating a culture, a community here at Ole. Basically, I want you guys to reach out. I want you to say, send me a message on WhatsApp. I want you to say, hey, we're looking at this coin. What do you think? That is a good thing. Because now we have 100 eyes that are looking at it. So, asking that information, it basically alerts each other to the different coins. So that is going to be a community-based, also a culture that we want to build, with the traders that we're going to have. So right now, this is the beginning. 3 months later, we're going to have, big online calls, and we're going to have information, and we're going to have one big report. So I have, Nick, I think he's on the line. He puts together a report, and let me show you what that report looks like. It says Ole Crypto Calendar, right? So this is a calendar that we have that we've already put together. So here's Zil, right? I alerted Zil last night, right, in the group. And here's the date, January 31st, right? We have dates that are already established. So these are all actionable events that we can trade off of. We can pick one of these coins here. They're already here. CMT, WPR, waves. Everything that, we've been trading, we can actually back it with research. So, NEO, February 16th. It has an event, but, we're in NEO already. So, this is some of the information that you'll get that you won't get in another group, right? And all you need, if you're trading with 10,000 or 20,000 or 100,000, you make 10%, that's 10,000, right? And we're able to do that. Just with waves up 8% already. So if you can stay disciplined and realize, hey, what you're trading with, the fee that we're charging to be involved, it's actually a discount. It's a discount one because you're going to beat every financial advisor out there, and you have information to continue to go, and you're not doing the research. The research has already been done for you. So that is the purpose of this 2-day class, is to show you the amount that goes into trading and the way that we're making it a shortcut. The way that we're basically cutting it down, where now you have actionable events that's on the calendar. Here's GBT, right? Product update is already here on this calendar. And that is the power of the group. So, you guys are here and getting a lot of this information. So the trading news, you know, the ICOs, you know, how we're going to help, the pain points. You know, one of the biggest problems in trading in the stock market and crypto is that you don't know where to get the information from. You have opinion pieces that are being written every day. One guy saying the market going down. One guy saying it's going up. Another analyst on TV is saying that, you know, crypto is dead. Another one is saying that, you know, the regulation and taxes, they're coming after you. It's all designed to confuse you and mentally. Hey, come on in. We're waiting for you.
All right. I have one package for you guys. What do you want?
You can just sit right here.
Okay.
So,
Mind if I get a seat real quick? Sorry about that.
sit right there. So, you know, it is designed to kind of, you know, throw us off, right? You have all these different ideas. And then that is another reason why we focus on the bull strategy, because the volume of orders, it doesn't lie. Like it's numbers. So math and numbers, seeing the numbers, it basically gives you, you know, confidence that either, hey, the market is going up or down. Right now we see Bitcoin. Let's go. You know, so while you're in a trade in a day, you're using a day trading strategy. We go here and we say, all right, well, what's happening with Bitcoin right now? You see the volume going up. When we looked at it earlier, it's 120.5 or 120.4. Now it's 120.7. You know, 7 billion. That volume is going up. Right now, the price of Bitcoin, that tells me that somebody is taking profits because the volume is going up and the price is going down right now. But if you look at this over on the side, you have more buyers now. The buyers are coming in. So this is someone selling, taking profits when you have buyers here. You know, before we didn't have the buyers here. So now I'm going to say, all right, I see the buyers. Now let me go look at another site. Let's see the sentiment. Oh, wow. Everything is positive. You know, it's all, you know, the sentiment is 50-50, but the price is 66%. You know, that means that there's more positive movement in the market. So the numbers don't lie. People are confused. They don't know if it's going up or it's going to stop. But what the price is telling me is that, you know, majority of the coins are having a positive price movement right now. SMA means that it's below, meaning moving average. That means that the average is up here. A lot of the prices are down here. So that means that they have upside. When things are below the SMA 50, it means that it's bearish, but the prices are lower. So it's not like you're buying it on the high side. So if you're buying right now, you're buying under the moving average, which means that the alligator is underwater. So if we look at the alligator, which is the swing, it means that a lot of the coins are under the water, but the price is moving up. We like to buy when it's over the 7-day M&A. So when it's over this line here, that is like when we like to get in. So if we look at it on a 1 hour, it's right at a decision point. You know, and so we're looking for things that's over the decision point. So we look at something like waves that we know that's up. You're going to see it's above the 7-day M&A, right? It crossed over here, and now it's moving up. So that's on the 1 hour. Now let's look at it on the 1 day. It's right here at the decision point. So today is a decision point. If it actually lifts up and it gets out, then you see what happens. It's just starting. It's just starting to rise up. All right. So, you know, that is the thing when you have so much information and it's coming from mixed places and you're listening to different opinions and different experts. We are not going to, you know, the traders that we have here, I don't want them reading social media. I don't want them reading articles and opinions because we want to focus on the price. We want to focus on the numbers. That doesn't, no matter what the experts say, this is what matters. This price change. Is it positive or negative? Right? Because at the end of the day, we're in it just to make a profitable trade. We're not in it for 30, 60 days, 90 days. We're in it to make a profitable trade and to take the 2, 3, 4, 5% and have a good trade. The opinion is something that's analysis. If they're writing so many articles, then how much are they really trading? How much are they looking at the numbers right now? You know, that's something that they wrote. It may have took them 8 hours to write. And that happened yesterday. Today, the price is up. Yesterday, it was at 118. Today, the market is at 120. You know, and that means that it's going upward. So on that note, I think let's take a bathroom break, take a 10-minute break.
So, prepare for a battle, we have to get information, right? Yeah. So that's where we come in and we prepare you guys, and then you guys go to battle.
So turning it back on and we get started. So I think you guys heard that. That's online on Zoom. You heard us talking here internally.
Oh, and one more thing. You talked about a candlestick that we need to read up on to understand it. You know, 5 or that we need to do. For the candlestick, remember yesterday?
Right.
Facebook group.
Yeah, the Facebook group.
Okay.
All right. So the Facebook group is, that's part of the members, you know, so if the members, they have that and you'll get in that group. Can't minimize it. So the second part, so we have a hour and a half, and you know, we kind of talked to. I'm going to pass something around on the market psychology and the stock trader almanac. We kind of, you know, skip this. Emotions, moving averages, prices, volume. And if you guys want to talk about something, just let me know, the guys online, because I went over some of the things, but I'm going to go more in depth. So the screener is something that we talked about yesterday. There's more screeners that I use, and there are some free ones that you can use. So let me go here. So a lot of the trading, you know, like the Tide.io, this sends out alerts. And these alerts, I have it up on my screen right now. It gives you the daily sentiment, the hourly sentiment. And the sentiment is based on tweeting and social media. So a lot of the news is, when you ask me about it going down, that's one guy's opinion, right? That's one person's opinion, and I'm not gonna let one person dictate whether I'm in and out of a trade. When you have sentiment, you have a group of people, a group, a market, so that's multiple people, and multiple people make up the market. So you have sellers and you have buyers. If I see that the majority of buyers that's in the trade is talking about something positively, then, you know, that is related to price, because that means that there's a lot of positive sentiment, meaning that the price should go up. So if we look at Lund, and then they have price projections and price change, right? So in 24 hours, this line had went up 24%. You know, I think last week we bought Lund, and I think we only made like 8 or 9%. A lot of times we are early on the trades, and that's why if you're a swing trader, you know, if it's trending up, it's going to up and down. But if, you know, we take a lot of times 5 or 8%, it's still a trade, but a week later it's up 24% now. And, you know, that is something where it's like, we repeat the same thing. You can never lose money taking a profitable trade. You know, the greed is like, you know, how do you know it's going to go to 24%? Like, it's always easier to say it after the fact. It's always easier to say that, oh man, I could have made 50%. You know, people that had Bitcoin in 2012, could they project that it was only going to hit 20,000? They bought it with the anticipation that it was going up, but they didn't know how far it was going to go up. When they bought it at $1 and it went to 100, they thought that, hey, I made it. I made the best trade ever, right? I mean, so, you know, you can't, everyone can be an expert in hindsight. And so Lund, I think we had got down here at like 138. It was somewhere around 138, and we sold around 150. You know, 150, 155. Today is up at 216. Touch. So being patient, if you miss it, you know, it's not you can set a stop and you can allow it to go. You can allow it to continue to go up. And then when it drops, you have to know why you're trading. Some of these, we don't know why we trade. We just see it goes up. And if we don't do the research and see if it has something there, sometimes we catch it just because we're catching the banks before the news even hit the streets. So, and that is something that, the reason why we sold around that price is because we're seeing these long wicks here. And these long wicks were saying that, 160 was the top right here. So when we bought it at 130 and it went to 160 or 140, and it's at 160, it still looks like a profitable trade. And now it's actually getting out the water. So that's on the day. And here it's still under. So buying down here, and considering the upside, there is really no reason to sell. But there is not a trade if you're making money every day. There's always another trade. All right. So this alert, he asked me, it constantly goes off. LRC was there earlier. It's a strong buy. We can watch the volume come in, right? And so LRC is here. These are all above the 7-day M&A, and we can see it moving up. And we see the volume here. So there is information. I'm pretty sure if we research this, we can find something on the calendar. Where is the calendar? And then also recently added. If we watch the recently added on the calendar, no events last 24 hours. So sometimes I just search this to see if I can find events that's popping up, most recently. All right. And so now we look at the CoinMarketCap. We'll check that. It was at 127 earlier. It's still around the same thing. You look at the view all, and it's kind of losing a little steam. It's it's still 50-50. So the stock trader Amina, we kind of went over that yesterday. I'm actually going to pass around a couple of tools I use. I actually had 3 of them. So you guys can pass these around. These are like the Bible for traders. They get to you guys. So basically, it's a trader almanac that gives you an overview of the month and when money was coming in, different type of events. So we're gonna go over some of those events. So this is something I showed you yesterday. And knowing when money comes into the stock market, it does relate to crypto. And also the current events that are happening, like in Europe with the Brexit. It's a global market. So global markets impact crypto because crypto, you know, it is a speculative trading where guys are putting money in based on future projections. So based on that, if they have extra money, we see extra money coming in crypto. If they're being slaughtered in the stock market or other markets, you know, it does impact crypto unless, you know, crypto is starting to become a place where it's saying it's a value, a store of value. So meaning that, you know, there are some guys that are putting 5 to 10% into Bitcoin just to accumulate it, to hold it. So, you know, that is another aspect to the overall coin market cap. And so looking at this, I think we'll look at let's go to the event calendar. So another thing that we use, considering it's a global market, is always go to the economic calendar in the stock market to check what events in crypto, you know, how this is going to impact. So when money is coming out of the stock market, you know, if there's a big influx going out, I want to know what's making it go out and how would it do crypto. Wednesdays are normally really eventful in the economic calendar. And considering that there's no events out there, you know, I would assume Tuesday would be a positive day now, you know, for crypto. So that was another reason why on Monday I said, hey, we can buy, and we can buy into Tuesday, because there was nothing on Wednesday to have people pull money out. Crypto market was down. Is at a low. Things are below the moving average. There was no indicators saying that, hey, you know what, stock market should pull their money out, right? But come Thursday, you know, if you look at the economic, you had the jobless gains, you had the ECB. This will impact your British currency. You know, the ECB press conference. You have the payroll jobs in Brazil. You know, these are things that impacts their markets. You know, this impacts, you know, if you're trading futures, the crude oil inventories. And then Friday, there's a holiday in Brazil, you know, which, you know, it's just different markets. Just having that information, it basically gives you a more worldly view. So in crypto, there is a worldly view, and there is definitely a value to having the information. Come on in. All right, how you doing? So, you know, with that being said, there's a lot of, you know, that is kind of the value. Once you start having that information, you feel handicapped not having it anymore. You know, because it's almost like you've been trading blind. You know, you've been trading without the full spectrum of the entire markets. So another tool you can use, you know, on the crypto side. So coming here and knowing, so when I say that you want to know how other people are looking at the markets, if you went to Bitcoin and then you went to analysis, technical analysis. So this is a tip for, you know, you have your candlestick patterns here, right? Because you asked me about candlesticks. You know, you have patterns that's already, you know, identified. So clicking this here, it tells you what pattern is going on. So even if you don't know how to read candlesticks yet, you can go here and you can then Google it. It says, all right, it's showing me what candlestick it is right here. It's saying it's a bearish reversal. That was on the 28th. All right. So a bearish reversal means that it's going to reverse.
To the
And,
downside.
huh?
To the downside.
Right. That's what it's saying, right? You know, and then you have completed patterns. So, you know, without having to read, without having to know it all right now, just knowing where to get the information from can help you trade. You know, that is on the candlesticks. So on the technical analysis, which, you know, if you want to come see on hourly, is it a buy, strong buy? This information is available to the entire world, right? Investing.com, one of the major websites. This influences the psychology of people because if they're reading, they're saying, oh, it says to buy now. There are some people that trade off of this site. You know, when I was trading stocks, you know, investing.com was the major site that a lot of traders use. So if you come here and it says overbought, it says buy. For every indicator that a lot of different traders are using, it shows you the amount of, on technical indicators, if they're a technical trader, there's some guys that are technical traders, they're using the, you know, Stalaxis RSI, they're using the Williams percentage, they're using the CCI or the oscillator. You know, they're using all these different things. If you're saying all buy, you know, all of these are saying buy. Then you have guys like me, I use moving averages. It's telling you to buy. It creates some psychology, right? But I also look at the numbers. You know, the volume matters most to me. So using the site as a reference is a, you know, on a daily, it changes though. So you see on an hourly, you know, for right now, as a day trader, the signals is, you know, buy. You look on a daily, all the signals are sell. All right. So it depends on what type of trading that you're doing, you know, which indicator you'll be looking at. You know, a daily trader is a swing trader if they're using day indicators. A hourly person is a day trader. A person is using a day, they're swing trading. They're using a day count, you know, the day. So at one point though, if you're using hourly, a day changes based on the hours. So trends are changing, you know, is constantly fluctuating. So that's where, you know, we may say, hey, this is only a day trade. We're getting something short. So for like XDM, when I said that we're buying it yesterday, it was a short trade. Short trade, that means it was, you know, sell within 24 hours. Or sell when it goes up. And so this is how you miss, you know, because we don't know if the trend is going to change, but we know that we did buy down here and it's up here. So if I sold right now and it could go up here, would I be wrong? You know, like you took profits. So that's a good trade. Because if you can make 100 trades and be profitable on 100 trades, no one's going to call you a bad trader, even if you miss every top. You know, they're going to say you're an unbelievable trader if you do 100 trades and you're profitable on 100 trades, whether 2, 3, 4, 5%. So, you know, that should be a goal. So INS, we laid it down earlier, and here it is on the calendar again. You know, it's on the alert, the screener. I just click it on. And so you see that, you know, even when I hit the alert, now if you stay in that trade, you know, it has a pretty good chance of going up above 1%, 2% again. All right. So with investing.com, you know, this is a great resource. And, you know, one thing as a trader, like you're not gonna know everything, right? You're not gonna know every strategy, every Elliott wave and Fibonacci. There's not enough time in the day to get all that. But having the information available and knowing where to get it saves you a ton of time, right? It gives you, now it's putting the information together. And that gives me confidence to make a call, trade or not. You know, if someone wanted to buy right now in Bitcoin, I wouldn't tell them to go all in. You know, you're at a point where it's up here. It looked like it could still go up, but they should have got in down here, right? You don't want to get in up here. You want to get in closer down here. So they had to set a buy order, and they said, hey, should I get in? Like, no, I mean, your chances of it failing, until history, until it breaks over, it's safer to buy here than it is to buy here. Safer to buy at $40 more above 3,600 than to buy right here at 35.60, 35.80, right? Because you're buying around the resistance level. I'd rather for it to break through and be at another level and then buy here. Because now if it reverses, it goes down and you're buying at 36.10. Well, if it drops on 3,600, I can get out with a $10 loss. If it's at 35.80 and it gets to 30, if it gets and it drops down to 35.70, where should I exit? Like if I buy it at 35.80, I don't know if the trend has changed until it drops under 35.20. So now I'm risking $60 a coin to know if I'm wrong or not. Whereas I can wait till it's over 3,600 and let that be my stop. If it drops back under 3,600, I'm out. So I can buy at 36.04 and risk $4 and say, hey, if it drops under, then I'll get out. So you just minimize the amount of exposure you have and to clearly identify when you're wrong. I buy at 35.65. Like I don't like if it goes 36, 35.75 and I get out, it's like, well, it's only $10, but it can go all the way down to 35.20.
So in that scenario, if it did come back down on 35.75, whatever, and you're trying to get out, you're never doing a market order, right? Are you
Yeah,
always
it depends on how fast it's coming down.
Yeah.
But I mean that's the indecisiveness, right? You shouldn't be entering where like you should be able to calmly say you're wrong. If all of a sudden you see a big candlestick and it drops, yeah, you do a market order because it says, hey, my limit was 3,600. So you have to be decisive. Like, hey, if it drops under 3,600, I'm selling. And all of a sudden, if it's going down so fast, you use market order because you get out, right? It's better to say I'm wrong quicker. You can be wrong on the upside. But on the downside, you want to admit it. You want to admit, hey, I'm wrong. It's okay being wrong. You can lose 80% of your trades and still be profitable if you just say you're wrong quick. You don't want to wait till it's down $100 and be like, oh, okay, now I'm getting out. Like, why not get out when it's $10? And like, all right. That's why I say if you're unsure, it's safer just to exit. Don't trade until you're a little bit more confident. So when you're, asking about like, hey, if it's gonna go up and down, that means that you didn't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you shouldn't trade. Because like you haven't planned it out. So I know that if it goes back over 3,600, I'm gonna buy. If it goes under 3,600, I'm gonna sell. That is a plan. If this happens, I'm gonna do this. If this happens, if it goes to 36.80, I'm gonna sell. Or I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna set a stop somewhere. So you have to have if-then statements in trading. If I buy this and it does this, what will I do? If I buy this and it goes up, then I'll hear like when I'm gonna sell. So when it went up to 3,700 and you said you're gonna sell, that was a plan. You said, hey, it hit 3,700, it looks like resistance, and you sold. That's right. It's the right thing to do. All right. If I would have sold and I wanted the Bitcoin, so it didn't matter because I had the same amount of Bitcoin. The value changed. I wasn't looking to cash out. If it would have went to 3,900, would I have had to cash out? Probably not. Not until it got to 4,200. Then I would have seen how it broke 4,200. So, that is just that is a part of being in trading where you want to have that resource until you develop your plan because it comes over time. Okay, so it's in and that's part of the the emotions. You should be able to go and sell something for a profit with no emotional attachment. Because if you just imagine that you're trying to make good trades, it's like, all right, it's just a good trade. is a good trade. And if you are in a bad trade, it's the same thing. Hey, I just have to get out. You know, there's no like, oh man, I shouldn't have bought it. Like, no, it's I need to get out. I need to stop the losses now. So this way you keep the emotions out of it. And even when you're up, you know, it's like, all right, I'm gonna set a stop. If it comes back down, I'm gonna go to the next trade. So most of the times when I'm in a trade, I'm actually reading news for the next trade. I'm trying to find out and research for my next trade. Because even if it goes up and I make money, I want to know, all right, the next trade. I just want to keep doing the same thing, making it a better trade. So another tool, let's go. So another tool to use, which I don't pay for it, but you know, you can see orders. So even if you're on a different exchange, and I'm looking at, let's say we want to look at Binance. This here tells me that there's 13,000 orders. You know, here there's 2,000 orders here. This is where people are buying. So if I'm looking at Binance, there's another order. This is an order book. I have sales right here at 660. So just looking at this, and I can see the orders. I'm gonna look at 660, and I'm gonna look at 640, and I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna use the boo, our template here, and I'm gonna say, oh, I see this seller stopped selling here. Buyers took over, and around 660 is where I see the orders. I can see here that there's more buyers than sellers. And then here, there's more buyers than sellers. So, you know, Binance still looks, even though I have a top here, I know at 640, I should see some support, right? That's the support level. And here is a resistance level up here, but the range is actually getting smaller. So when you see the range is getting smaller, you know, there's buyers and sellers that are here. And I'm looking at more buyers that are all up between 640 and up. So eventually, this is going to crack this level. And then the next level of resistance is around $7. So this has still been trending up. If you look at the overall trend, even though these big candles, it's still in a upward trend. So just drawing a trend line, you know, $7 is where, you know, where you'll see some kind of resistance. And this is just using a regular. So around this point here, 675, if it breaks through strong, it'll continue to go up. If not, it'll break back down to around 640. And that's just drawing a quick. And so I look at it on the week. You know, this is what I want to see. I want to see it maintain this line here. And I'm shooting for right here. This is like around $9. That's where I want to see Binance in another like 30 days. So if we look here, it's in just in the normal path that it's going, you know, by February 18th. Because I'm putting it at this top. As long as it's in this trend, and you know, I can draw this here, I can leave this here, and I can come back to it, and it'll still be here. And so give it a couple of weeks to get up there. And then on a day, is actually getting out of water. So that's a this is a trend that we're in, and this is where you want to have it. That's good. All right. So all right. So is there any coins that you guys want to know about? We bought Dash yesterday. So that was one that we learned in the group. We bought it at 68.80, I think it was. So let's take a look at it. Imagine that. Imagine that. All right. So we bought on this line. It was a line down here. This is where this arrow. This is this is where the sellers stop. So it's like if the sellers stop buying, it only had one option. Where if no more sellers and buyers start buying, there's a pretty good chance. And I said if it breaks 72, we'll go to 79. So right now is at 72. You've got 96 buyers and you have 9 sellers. So when I get a signal to buy yesterday, we get a signal to buy because there was no more sellers. And so we bought here yesterday at 60. We bought, sent alert at 69. I said, hey, if it drops under 68, you get out. It's only been going up since. So, luckily I was able to buy, 300, which is like 5 or 6 Bitcoin. But here's kind of the resistance level. The first one, it's going to be about 76, and then it'll go up to like 82. So those are 2 levels I'm looking to sell. And now the position is pretty safe. So right now, if I sold profits right now, it would be under like $400 or $500. And if I waited, I want to try to get like at least, a quarter of a Bitcoin. And you can tell, it's been at 100. So buying at 69, if it breaks through this level, then I'll hold. But you can't predict what's going to happen. You only can manage the trade. Once you're up, my job is to give you a good entry, and basically give you the confidence to go in. Now when it's up, it's your job to say, how are you going to manage it? Are you going to put a stop in at 72 and let it ride? Or I put a stop at 71? Or you can sell and then rebuy. I still have your position. That all depends on, what type of profits you're going to take. A lot of times, if you only have like $1,000, $2,000, you're in a trade, you take the profits and you start building up that account. You take the profits, and this way, now that $1,000 you had yesterday, now it's $1,200. And now you can trade something else. And, that's how you build a small account. If you have multiple coins and you don't have the time, then some things you're going to let ride a little bit longer because you don't have the time to actually manage it. Or you'll take an easy win. Say, hey, I just made $400, $500 in less than 24 hours while I have a day job. That is another benefit.
Jamar, can I ask?
Yeah.
On your VU chart there, how do you see the buyers that are above sort of the current bid? Because like if I go to my Binance and I'm looking at the order book,
all right,
the highest one I can see is like right now 648, right? So how do you see
different time frames? All right. Actually, you choose different time frames. So on Binance, that's what I'm saying. Binance is not trading you, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like you're seeing that there's buyers way up here, right?
Right.
So how do you like way above where the price is? So how do you see that? Is that something I can? Because it's based off the order book, right?
Right. It's based off the order book on the exchanges.
So like when I'm looking at the order book, I can never see.
Right, because Binance doesn't allow you to go on a mobile to look all through their order book. But TradingView has API, so it's just data. There's only a certain amount of data that they can display on their landscape. On TradingView, it is a charting platform, and that's their specialty. Binance is a exchange. Their specialty isn't charting, right? The order book is just another tool. The data is not, this is a tool that's used for giving you information regarding the chart. So I look at different time frames, I get different information. So I can't, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
All right, yeah. Binance is different, Binance just helps you execute a trade. TradingView gives you the data of all of it. That's why I say that, if you're going to be a trader, you want to have the tools so you can actually get more confidence. So it's almost like you have to have TradingView. You should have it.
Should I buy when I open that, they have a big blind. What is the blind? I need to buy the TradingView every month.
Yeah, I mean,
is it good?
huh? So what I do on TradingView is every Black Friday, they give you a discount, and basically you can buy it half off, and I buy it for the entire year.
1 year.
Yeah, because I'm a trader forever.
That's once a year.
Yeah, once a year they get it half off. You get the entire year for like $300.
So when you already subscriber, can you do that on Finance to do a new account to buy a new?
Yeah, so sometimes I just call them and tell them like, hey man, I'm gonna cancel my account. I want this discount, and then they're gonna say okay, they're not gonna ever tell you you can't do it. It's only for new customers. Because then you're like, all right, well I'll just cancel and get a new account. Like why? So they'll honor it.
What I mean is, I look at it. There are three different brands.
Right.
Yes. What difference with the three?
One, you get more indicators. You get 5 logins. So inside our group, I'll put a message. So in my regular Facebook group, I told guys, hey, won't 5 of you guys get together, all put in, and you all get it cheaper. So you can use one. So you can use one login and share with 5 people. You guys all have the same account, and then you can make unlimited charts. So if you look at mine's, I have Nick, I have Chow, everybody, they all have their own charts under my account. Right?
I don't have
So you get 5 people. So when you get in the group, I'll say, hey, if we have 5 people that want to do a TradingView account, you guys PayPal each other the money, buy one account, and you buy it for the year. So if you have 5 people, everybody puts $125 in, and you have it for the entire year. Whereas you buy the TradingView by itself, it's $400 or $500, $40-50 a month for the pro version.
39.
39, yeah. The premium, right?
And as soon as you start your trial, though, it already tries to start discounting you. So,
Right. So that's a little tip. All right. That'll save you. That'll save you. All right, cool. And so, and you guys know why we bought Dash yesterday, right? Remember, we bought Dash because it was on the recent coin updates, and it came out like 1 hour ago. And basically, I was like, this news hasn't hit yet. Because some news are so fast that we'll get it first, and the market doesn't move. And they responded like, once the information get out to the public, then they start buying. So that's why it was a decisive thing that, hey, they just had to update. They're updating, they're releasing a new wallet. We bought Dash right away. Now they're ready. So let's see. So I don't know if you guys have a problem with reading the alerts in the group, but here's one of the alerts. It was like alert by Dash, bought at 68.90, stop out below 68. News just came out about the new wallet. You were early. So basically, just explain why we're buying it. I put a screenshot of the news and then basically where to stop at. I didn't put a sell because that is something that you need to manage, right? So you can continue to sell everything when it's up. So I don't know how much Dash is up right now, maybe 2% or something. Computer frozen. Another thing we can use is Twitter. Twitter, you know, even though it's social media, if you put a dollar sign in front of it, it'll bring up tickers. I think if you're ever questioning, like, you know, what's going on, normally Twitter will have more information in it faster than the news. Actually. So it's saying market cap winners in the last 2 hours. So we've seen a lot of volume come in, right? And so really, if it was one of the top coins, then I'm not going to sell it anytime soon, you know, because I know that there's a base being built on Dash. So my price is kind of where, you know, we bought actually before other guys are buying. That was 7 hours. We bought like 14 hours. So they're saying that, you know, so now you can see other guys where they're putting their stops at, you know, and what they're anticipating. So sometimes you'll read it so you'll know kind of what other guys are putting out in public. If I can see where he's putting his stops, other people can too, right? Because he's projecting it to the world. So I searched Dash and Twitter, and this is the one that came up. So, you know, it's a lot of information that goes into it. But as we post in the group, you start observing it, you know, absorbing the information, and then it becomes like second nature, and it doesn't seem as overwhelming. And as you read on one coin, you'll start seeing other coins. So, you know, but you don't. Sometimes you don't have the information, and that's why in alerts, you know, we just want to get the profitable trades, get the confidence. You don't have to watch. You know, you don't have to do all the research. That's why you're in a group. All right. All right, cool. So another thing I think we're going to talk about now is now there's some coins that, you know, you need to avoid, right? So, you know, someone tells you to buy a coin, you know, one thing that you can do, what coin did you show me that I didn't recommend that you had bought? You had showed me a coin.
Coin.
Yeah, you had told me, you showed me your coins.
Yes.
And I was like,
Can you repeat again?
no, I think, so like if you have a coin and you don't know,
Take that coin.
right. So,
So,
and I actually tell you it was good, but, so some of the coins you'll look and you know, you'll buy or someone will tell you to buy them. You want to look the coins up, and you want to see kind of what their what's the sentiment, you know. So if you don't know about a coin, someone gives me a coin I don't know about, I want to see right away what the sentiment is and what other people are saying about it, even before, and then I want to look and see what negative tweets or, you know, what kind of information that they're having. So for a coin that, you know, come out and it has information that's jersey and account, you know, then it's telling me right away that this coin is some kind of exchange, you know, like I don't know. And you want to figure out what the coin is. So then I would go to Crypto Panic and I would do a search. And this brings up all the news on that coin in the last, you know, 3 months. And then it gives you a chart so you can see like the projections of it. Where is that? And so, you know, what you're looking for is reasons why you should buy it or reasons why you should get rid of it. You know, I mean, that's two things. You know, sometimes you want to know like, hey, if there's something bad, I want to know why to get rid of it. So this way, if you're already up 3 or 4%, 5%, you're looking for reasons to either keep it or to say, I'll take 3 to 4 to 5%. Right. So it's not a bad thing. You know, it's like, you know, if you see that it was up 34% and now it's down 34%, you want to know why it's down 34%. You know, it's always, you know, you can make a lot of money by asking the right questions. Right. And that's, you know, that's just in life in general, but you want to be able to ask the right questions of, all right, why is it down or why is it up?
One of our members just put an alert on Theta Token a few minutes ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So there's the main net launch is March 15th. That's what he said.
Okay, right.
For Nick.
Okay. All right, cool. So that's good. So Nick is already he put some information out saying that they have a launch. They have a Theta launch. So they have a main master node. So I mean, so master nodes. So give you guys the idea. Here, master node. We're gonna go on to a different tangent. So a master node is basically on a network. You're basically you're buying into a network. So these coins, it's saying that, say for instance, Dash. For you to get a master node to get paid off of the network, you have to buy 1,000 coins of Dash. So when people are forced to buy 1,000 coins to get a master node, that means that the price they have to buy to get the master node, that means the price goes up. So if Theta is having they're basically allowing a mainnet, allowing people to buy master nodes, that means that people have to buy the coin. And of course, if the coin is cheap, they're gonna want to buy it early. So this way they can get the coin, because then if they wait and the price goes up, they still gotta buy the same amount of coins. So then it's a rush to buy the coins, pushing the price up. So there's news events that happens that are profitable. Some things that are profitable are mainnets, partnerships. You know, so if you see a coin that has a partnership, has a mainnet, has a wallet release, rebranding, there's certain things that are going to make it either more popular, get more users, that makes the price goes up. There are certain events that you'll see on the calendar that doesn't mean much, like a meetup in Amsterdam. You know, that's not a profitable news event. So I think that's important to know. Let's go over some of the that's one thing. So you have a private test net launch. That's why you see INS going up today, right? You have this payment partnership. You would have to look into this partnership to see if it really matters. You have a Chain Plus conference. You know, this is not a profitable event. It's just they're in a conference, but they can release some news that could be profitable. You don't want to buy something based on, a listing. Certain exchanges, they're listing on CoinMarketCap for the first time, or they're listing on Binance. It may make the price go up. In advance, people are buying it because it's going to go on Binance. But at the moment that it goes, they sell the news, and then the price drops. So there's certain events that we put onto our calendar that are profitable events. So when we say, a GBT, a product update, the reason why we put on here is because we believe that's a profitable event. You know, they're going to update their product. You know, they're doing it to institutions. Unclaimed coins, that might be a profitable event. You know, the information that they give here could be a profitable event, or, it could be a regular just conference. So certain things will alert, and certain things we won't alert based on the calendar. Steam, basically we've seen Steam, and we had put this on there because Steam was at 24 cents. But right when we were getting ready to buy Steam, their whole development, they laid off a bunch of people in Steam, and so then we didn't alert it because we didn't know. And right now, Steam has picked up. So Steam is almost up 50% in the last week. And we had it on our calendar, but we didn't want to risk. We didn't know how the layoffs were going to happen. They laid off half their staff. So let's go to just 2 pictures. Center one. For the last day, this is Steam. It was like 20 cents. It's like 36 now. So certain things that it was coming on our alerts like every day when it started moving. And so a lot of these alerts you can buy when it first comes on, and then you can put a stop once it gets up 3 to 4%. And a lot of these coins are going to continue to go up for a couple of days. You see when this arrow happens, I was on 116. Now it's 122. So that was a 5-day move at almost 40-50%. So it's just having faith in the tools that we have. All right, cool. So, one thing that we're gonna talk about is what comes with the OLA membership, right? So we have the membership, we have the reports, we have the daily updates, we have the calendar, we have live Zoom calls that's gonna be there. I give market updates pretty much on a day, and then we're gonna have interaction in the Facebook group. So going forward in the Facebook group, I'm gonna start promoting that. Basically, coins and more interaction. So if there's a dates and events, we're going to have events that's going to be listed by different members that's in that group. But our WhatsApp is where I put the actionable events, the ones that we're going to make money off of, our news. A lot of files come with the membership, a lot of videos. So, I have a digital currency guide TV that we're going to go to. This actually comes with the membership as well, and basically we're going to update it with different videos. So right now you have checklists and cryptocurrency strategies, goal setting. This is something that you can use 24 hours a day. So when you have your welcome email, it gives you a code to basically go in, access that, and we're going to update it with new strategies and new videos. And these are just learning materials. And you can do that while we're actually trading. So we're trying to, give you the information on the trading side, but we update this so you can actually see what other strategies being taught. So you're just aware of it, and it's something you can do at your leisure. You don't have to go through any of them. A lot of things that, we basically mentioned in the reports. So like that calendar for the calendar for the stock trading almanac, we pay for a lot of services that we've already paid for, so you don't have to pay for them. So in here we have files, all right? A lot of these reports are pay reports, ebooks, Elliott Wave, information on Bach. So every month you get a lot of files that you'll be able to download, if you so choose to. It's information that we basically put out there. And so the calendar, like I showed you, the cryptocurrency calendar, it's in the group as well. So it was already here. So a lot of these are kind of like, action plans of here's events that you invest in. You have, this is why you're buying it. And so the other thing is the videos. So all the videos is me just giving updates, and then also giving kind of a overview over the volume over order strategy, alligator strategy. So these are recorded. So even if you miss some of the dates, they're recorded. Another thing that we'll be doing in February is we'll actually be uploading the events calendar, where it's like you go back a couple of months, you know, there'll be different dates here going through in the future of different things. So this way, if you don't know what's going on, there'll be dates listed. So even the monthly plan, before I didn't put them on these calendars. Now I'm going to start putting those each day, whether it's a buy day, sell day, and we'll be updating the calendar. You go to Unix, and basically just have, it has the calendars, how to transfer from Coinbase to Binance, a lot of the beginning information. So a lot of the videos and trades are going to be listed in the Unix group, where you can basically, it's old posts, setting up a futures trading account, Thinkorswim. So, there's a lot of resources that we're going to just basically put out there, and you can reference. The push notifications. I send these, and I normally send a update on the market value. So this way, daily, you'll know that, the market value is going up or it's going down, and it's a push app notification. Where like last night, 12 hours ago, I sent buy Zil. At what price I bought it at, and then why did I buy it? So these alerts. So even if you're missing trades or you're not able to read all the groups, you'll have a push notification where at least you'll get one or two trades that are there. So here I bought Dash, I bought Zil. So just with those two alerts, you could have just made money without just buying those, right? And it's like you didn't have to read all the Facebook posts. You didn't have to read all the WhatsApp. I only try to do maybe 2 to 4 alerts a day. So this way, it's like, all right, well, if you want to just know, buy this one, buy that one. That's it. Right?
These alerts will be on WhatsApp or?
No, so what? They're in WhatsApp, they're in Facebook, but if it gets too busy for you, you have a push app that you download. Yeah, push.com. And then I can alert that too. So this way, you use, I'm too busy. I don't want to look at WhatsApp. I get too many notifications. I'm busy on Facebook.
Can I add to it? You will receive the email once you register fully, because there's a monthly payment. So when you register fully, we will send you an email so you will get all the link where you can register and sign up, so you can get all the latest news or updates from Jamar.
Right. And so, and then and this is normally it's our safest plays. The plays that we put here are plays that feel pretty confident. So even if you miss selling, like Dash, I feel like you can hold for a couple of days. Zil, I don't post things that if you didn't get it and then an hour later you didn't sell and now it's dropped. Like, this is not for sure. These things I post here is things that if you buy today and you hold tomorrow, it still should be good. So that's why you don't see a lot of alerts. We get alerts every hour, but I don't post all those. It's not like an alert group where basically you're paying for someone to flood your timeline with great trades and you're always missing it after the fact. These are trades that you can get in, and I feel like they have a week or two to be profitable. So that is another advantage of the push app. So we pride ourselves on, Cloak was up 30%, Tron was up like 20, 30%. None of these alerts were less than 10%. So with $10,000, that's $1,000. I mean, and it already happened. So, it's things that the other groups, they'll tell you, oh, we were up in that, and you can't verify it. It happened in 10 seconds, and it went up and it went down. These are all safer plays. Okay. So the last 30 minutes, if we want to do a Q&A, I kind of went over the push app notifications, the digital currency guide, videos, We went over the different strategies, which with alligator and bull, we kind of went over it yesterday. But we have videos here. So inside the group, there's additional videos to kind of know. There's templates that you'll be able to copy. And then, our goal is if, a person wants to be a full-time trader or wants to do it, eventually after successful trades, we're basically going to introduce, in our prop trading format, we're basically going to give guys $10,000 of our money to trade. And basically, if they're able to follow this after a certain probationary period, we kind of review it like an application and said, all right, well, hey, you know what? You want to trade? You can trade our funds if you're using the information, because the information is 24 hours. So that is going to be part of the membership. Going forward, after 3 months, they're able to say, hey, you know what? I was able to put 10 trades together successfully. Here's my trading account for a month. And then turn it into us, review it, and be like, all right, we'll start you off with 10. You are able to, produce and generate income. Trading history is good. Then we'll raise it. And then we'll raise it again. So, our goal is to basically build out a bunch of successful traders, overall. And then allow you to trade our money, because it's 24 hours. You can't get every trade, not with one person. But one person can get the right trade every day. And that's where we have advantage over financial advisors and big funds, where they're basically, they're trading large amounts of money and they can't move it in and out. So we can actually beat the banks and have advantage because we can move, smaller amounts in and out faster, using the same techniques that we have here. So with that said, let me go into the chat group. Let's see. Okay. So do everybody know about, we use Binance. Binance is our, is our platform that we're going to be trading off of. We have the master account. You get a discount if you use Binance and you're holding BNB coins, right? So if you're on Binance and you're holding BNB coins, there's for some reason my Binance is down. So I'll get that later. These are my morning affirmations anyways. I say these every morning, so to get my right mindset. But, on Binance, you'll get a 25% discount on all your orders. So if you hold Binance coin, you select it, you're able to get discounts on Binance. So we recommend you use Binance. You have your trading view. Another thing is, the WhatsApp is free, Facebook. Really that's the two things you need, the Binance. And then, once we get this rolling, we'll also be having features. So, in the group, in the future, we'll be actually doing feature calls. There are certain calls that gold or oil, the indexes. When the markets start dropping, there's going to be opportunity to make money in futures. We're focused on crypto, but we want to be able to add value to the guys and basically be able to trade on both platforms. So, there's going to be new exchanges like TD Ameritrade is actually getting into crypto. So, sometime this year, they're going to have cryptos on their platform. They already have Bitcoin features. So TD Ameritrade, they kind of announced that. So that's another platform that we recommend. TD Ameritrade, Binance, TradingView, and, we'll add more and more services as, we evolve, on the OLA trading group. So that's something to look forward to, and, additional value is going to be added. That being said, Chad, would you like to come in and
Well, we want to start as we go. We need more traders, and this is the first class. So some of you guys probably itchy, ready to go, right? So we are setting up a program for we're going to talk to interview, make sure that you're comfortable with. So you can join us and start trading now, because we will provide an account, and it has our Bitcoin in there. So you trade on the company behalf and share the profit with the company.
But there is a membership fee for the commitment to come in.
Yes.
Because it's a, you're putting up 1,000, we're putting up 10. Mm-hmm. So there is we want to make sure that everybody has skin in the game, and the trades that we have, we know that we should be able to get 10, 20% on trades throughout the entire month.
So that's what we want to do, is get people going immediately. The first class, and then as you progress, and we monitor it, because we can look at your daily performance, and we can increase the amount of Bitcoin, because we have more Bitcoin sit on the sideline not trading than actually going to trade.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we need, and then we need to build the core of the people, because then you guys can go and train more peoples. Eventually, we have all the venture capitals, which is a hedge fund, and we have millions of dollar coming in. Somebody have to manage that. The money cannot sit on the sideline. Okay, and we don't have enough really traders. Right. That's our main thing, and you can see this can be all open to anybody, anywhere. Outside of the U.S. in here, because they are, they can trade anywhere. Just like he wants to go to retire in Asia. Now he can do it, because he can sit over there, trade a few hours a day, close it, go do whatever, right? Make some money and happy with it.
See, and this is a unique time, because most of the hedge funds out there, they're collecting money from investors, and they're in a stock market. You have to be licensed. In crypto, there's no crypto license to trade your own, to enter in the market. So there's not enough traders out there that even know about crypto, right? So we're going to create our own trading program and create our own ecosystem. And, this is our crypto. So, you have a unique advantage. We have a unique advantage. Most firms out there, the reason why even funds out there don't produce the amount of money, because they're banks and they can't move fast. They can't train people fast. It takes them years to get a staff together. We have the advantage that we can actually hand select, and if you have a passion for it, it's not like a basketball game. This is a 24-hour, job. It's a 24-hour lifestyle. Crypto is a lifestyle where it never stops. So we're always able to make money, if we have the attention span. And that is that's what we're looking for. People that have the attention span, that want to trade crypto, that want to have a freedom in trading and making money. And this is what this is, this is a new day. The stock market closes, crypto doesn't. There is around the clock.
That's the only thing about crypto. You can't, it seems like every time you close your eye, the thing moves, right? So, but you have to say, okay, I just trade, follow the guideline, trade, stop, go take a break, go to the bathroom. James say every time he get up to go to the bathroom, price crash. I say then you time it. So to buy when you go to the bathroom, right? So that's what we would like to offer. So if you guys are interested, you'll contact us after class. Then the next step is the traders. We will have more classes for them, more meetings, because we need to train you guys move fast. We want you to manage from 2 Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoin to 100 Bitcoin, because we need peoples, okay? Right. And this offer you a chance of making money and help us making money also.
Right.
Okay.
And so in the, as we go forward, we'll have training classes that I'll be giving to the traders. And then we'll also have 1-day classes for, just kind of refreshers where you can bring people, and they can see what it's about. But some people are just going to be investors, and they're going to come in and they're just going to want to trade their own funds. They don't want to be a trader, and they're going to benefit from the calls that we have here, because we're going to, our goal is to create, like you know the movie 300, where you had the best gladiators. We want to have 300 of the best traders all here. So this way, just being around our environment, you're going to make money if you're in trading. So that is the goal for us to train the best traders to have them here, and they're going to be an environment that we create where our investors are making money, everyone that's in our group is making money, and then our traders are actually just profitable trades where we don't have to make 100% a trade. We can make 2-3%, and you know that when we're trading, everybody's making money.
Yeah, remember in the regular mutual fund is what? 7, 8, 10% a year is good, right? Yeah. So when we trade this, we forget, only 2 or 3% a day. Come on, man. Just look at that and compound it, right? Yeah, that's a lot. But when you trade, sometimes you lose a focus. So
Right.
his job will be provide you, give you the focus guideline. You make sure that you follow them, and then you can participate because he cannot track all 1,200 altcoin.
Right.
Okay, so you say, okay, I see something that come up. Then I may see a signal from Bangkok of, where the pump and dump happen.
Right.
They say, okay, hey, that one in 2 days we are pumping. So we give you signal. They are pumping. They are pumping. Right? Sometimes we can see this jump from $1 to 10.
Yeah, it's 70-80%.
Yeah.
And we're gonna tell you, and then your job is just gonna be able to watch that coin, get in at the bottom, and then when it pumps, all we need you to do is sell. Sell 40-50%.
Yeah. Sell before it cracks. I mean, literally, it's just this and down. But it can happen in 1 hour.
Right.
So you set it.
So this way you're not watching a bunch of different coins.
Yeah.
You're focused on that one coin. You have alerts set up. When they start moving up, I teach you how to set the alerts up, and then you just sell it. And then now we helped you make 30-40%, 50%, and now our account is growing. You're getting it. We want to see you make money, and we're making money.
So if you're interested, sign up for the best.
Yeah, sign up for the best.
Yes. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. So I want to end on the online, guys. Thanks for joining us today. No, it's a long recording, and we'll be talking to you guys. And send a message. Let Diane know, and talk to you guys soon. Talk to you, Nick.